Hello, you guys. Welcome back to One in a Million. This is Eunice Chen, your host of this channel, and I'm super excited to have you guys today to be sharing with you what are 4 best things to do when your manifestations are not happening. So this is like a bit of a nervous subject because it's like, well, we never want to say that it's not coming. We always want to remind ourselves it's already on the way, it's already happening, right? But you gotta be real with yourself sometimes. Like when you know that in the bottom of your heart, you're like, yeah, it hasn't happened. It hasn't happened. I can see it's not happening. This is the conversation for us to have. This is not about some toxic positivity that's just reminding yourself that it is working. It's all right, let's have this conversation when you feel like things are really not working out for you, okay? And this is what exactly this channel is here for. And my intention of this video is to share with you some of the things that you can do to shift out of this energy that you're at so that you can find your ground, you can find your center, you can feel confident about your manifestations again. You don't have to doubt yourself, what am I doing wrong, or where's my energy off, so that you can be your own sounding board, okay? Because this is going to help you trust yourself and find your ground and reevaluate things within yourself when no one can tell you how to think and how to feel. And so, yes, there are, videos out there, there's advice out there of how to think or how to motivate yourself when things are not working out for you. But ultimately, you have to be the one who reevaluates, okay, are these thoughts working out for me, right? Because if at some point you start to question yourself, am I just holding my breath? Am I just convincing myself and burying my head under a bunch of sand? Am I just carrying this positivity? Am I just ignoring the obvious signs? Is it even okay to doubt myself? Is it okay to doubt my manifestations? Is it okay to question myself? Is it okay to question my vision, right? Sometimes we don't feel safe to reevaluate things because we have been told that if we, question, or if we don't hold that steady vibration, we're holding our breath, then our manifestations are not going to come. Our desires are not going to come. And, there's this external voice that is coming from, manifestation communities and teachers and gurus that are saying, you've got to hold the vision. You've got to be steadfast. You got to hold the belief. You got to, shift your vibration or raise your vibration or hold the better feeling thought. You just got to work on your conviction, And so we're kind of going back and forth, this push and pull between what we really feel on the inside and what the teachers are telling us, what other people are telling us that we should think and feel. And so when I was experiencing some of these feelings, I discovered that one of the biggest problems was that I actually didn't allow myself to process the disbelief. That's a big problem, the biggest sounding board I can be for myself, I chose not to listen to. The internal guidance that I have for myself, I'm oh no, you're not useful because the sound of doubt is not useful. But a lot of times, because I don't hold space to process this, because I'm so afraid of the doubt, I'm so afraid that, if I even think an ounce about this, if I expose myself to a lower vibrational thought, then maybe my manifestations are not going to happen. God forbid, right? And so it's very discouraging. Even the thought of not allowing myself to process disbelief or discouragement or feeling low, feeling sad, it's always going to slowly hum in the background. It's always that humming voice. I want to give you 4 steps that you can do, one step leading to another, to allow yourself to open up back to the trust again, to open back up to being your own foundation again, so that you can safely and steadily lead yourself through this process, feeling confident that your manifestations are going to come, and it's going to come better and faster than you've ever thought before. The first thing that I want to share with you is to allow the doubt. Now, why do we want to allow the doubt? It's like, well, the doubt is like a lower vibrational thought. Why do we want to even entertain it? Why do we want to look at it, Eunice? Now, here's why. Because your doubt it's a part of you. There's a part of you that still needs to process these things. There's a part of you that's still questioning. There's a part of you that's still like, I really want that. I really want that dream. I want to have that desire. I want to hold it. I want to believe it. But I just want to know some things. Is it safe? Is it safe to be in that reality? Is it safe for me to receive this? Will I lose the things that I currently have? That doubting part of you is afraid, and it's coming through in the form of maybe disbelief. It's coming in the form of maybe a limiting thought that tells you, oh, maybe if you go for this, you're going to lose the kind of life that you have right now. You're going to lose the happiness and fulfillment you have right now. So you better be careful, right? And so what we want to do is not to shame ourselves that we don't believe hard enough. There's nothing wrong with the strength of your belief. It's just a matter of how are we going to nurture that part of us that is still scared? How are we going to open ourselves up to have this conversation with, our inner child that's like, oh, I'm still not so sure about this. Am I allowed to have it? Are people going to stop loving me if I receive this manifestation? Or all these kind of fears, subconscious fears that are still running in the background. And open yourself up to these questions so that you can finally explore. So this is your first step, is to actually allow the doubt, because chances are there is a part of you that is still seeking answers from the inside. It's still seeking the reassurance. It's still seeking the feeling of safety to have and hold that desire in its hands. And it's so badly craving for it to hear and for it to know that it is okay. It is okay. Number 2 is assess the situation. Right? Now, sometimes when we are in the middle of manifesting something, we kind of have that thought momentum going forward already, a lot of times it's a bit scary to take a step back and just look at the big picture. But a lot of times when we have been manifesting and focusing on a vision for so long, it's I don't want to look at anything else. I just want to block out everything else. And I just want to focus on the vision that I've been looking at for so long. Because if I look at it just hard enough, if I just focus on it hard enough, then it's going to happen. But let me tell you guys, perspective is going to help you open up your energy again. So if you feel like your energy is a bit clamped, you feel like you feel a bit clenched in your manifestation, you're oh, how come I can't? I feel like I'm just kind of having a tug of war with the universe, things aren't really happening, then your energy needs to open up again. That's a time when you want to be reassessing how things are flowing from you and to you, how you are becoming a clear channel, or if you're actually a bit blocked, right? Have we lost sight of the bigger picture? Have we lost sight of our original intentions? The feeling that we actually wanted to feel, initially when this vision came up for us, is that still the same feeling? Or am I clouded by a certain vision? So this is the point where you want to reassess. Ask yourself, is this thing that I want, is it still accurate? Do I need to pivot? Do I need to change something? Do I need to switch courses maybe? Maybe do I need to go, instead of going straight up, do I need to go diagonally and just find the easy way to glide myself there? And am I willing to pivot? And when you have found your answers and you still feel a bit of resistance, that's how you know that maybe you have developed some emotional attachment towards the thing that you want to manifest. Have you developed attachment? Have you become too controlling of how it has to happen, when it has to happen, in what way it has to happen? And so these are the things that you can actually open up and see within yourself when you start taking these pieces apart. And you're like, hey, you know what? That was my original intention over there. Even though the image looks kind of similar, like my vision looks kind of similar, but I feel like the feeling has changed. And so you want to reassess that and regroup yourself so that you can tweak that energy and just keep going in that new direction. Tip number 3 has also everything to do with energy as well, is to clean up your energy. Now, a lot of times your doubts actually don't come on its own. Your doubts usually are prompted by something that you see that was dissatisfying, something that reminded you, oh, my manifestations are not here yet. These are usually when doubts come in. If you have been triggered by something, or you have been triggered by someone, or reminded by someone that, hey, your manifestations are not here yet, maybe you saw someone having the thing that you want and you don't have it yet, and you're thinking to yourself, I've been working for this, or I've been asking for this, how come there's this feeling of dissonance or contrast, or this feeling that my desires are still so far away from me? That's when you want to find out where that trigger came from so that you can properly address that, clean up that energy over there so that you could actually focus on the energy of your desires, because it's a very, very different kind of energy. It's around the same topic, there are 2 different sides of the energy, and you don't want to be on the side that is that. You don't want to stay on the side where you keep getting triggered. So one way to do that is go there to find out what was triggering for you in the first place so that you can actually dissolve it. Did someone say something to you that stained your energy, that reminded you of something in the past that you actually needed to go back into, your subconsciousness and clean up? You need to process some things that has happened in the past. Or are you living in your ex's apartment or something, running into situations that make you unhappy? Those are some things that you want to clear out of your life, because let's say you have that desire, you have the desire that is living out there, that is your desired life, but you're living the life that you don't want to be living right now. So you got to make sure those things are being removed so that you can actually move yourself into a place or an environment where your creative and your good energy can actually be expressed. So that's the 3rd thing that you want to work on, is clear up that energy and be back in the energy of your desires. After you have done all of these 3 things, now we can move to the 4th step, which is finally getting your inner self's green light. After having doubted yourself and working through some of these disbeliefs and, feelings of discouragement, it's time to regroup yourself and feel recommitted to your vision again. The way you want to go about it is to ask your inner self, hey, are we ready for this? Are we good? Essentially it's like an inside cleanse where you straighten things out between your mind and your heart, you checking in with your inner self. Hey, are we good? Have we sorted this out yet? So we want to ask for the green light. Essentially, that's the fast pass. So the way that I like to experience it in my body is that that's how my nervous system, that's how my body tells me, yes, I'm ready, let's go, I'm super excited, let's get moving, we're 100% on board with this. Or it's hold on, maybe I just need a little more time, I just want to clear this doubt over here, and I still have that little tiny bit of discomfort that I want to talk to you about over there. And that's where you want to really listen to your inner self, because that's how your nervous system is going to communicate with you, if your body is fully on board with it, or if you're going to keep creating more resistance in your life. So in the grand scheme of things, like nothing really is going to change. Yes, maybe you're going to shift directionally just a tiny bit, but if you are steadfast with your vision and if you know that vision is yours, it's like it's not going to change. It's just switching sometimes the means to the end. Sometimes it's just a difference in strategy, a difference in approach. Maybe even it's a different kind of energy to approach your desires. So I hope these 4 things have helped you find your way back to your certainty in manifesting and feeling confident that yes, it is coming. Not because you're forcing yourself to believe it, not because you're being brainwashed to believe it, but because you have found a ground and foundation within yourself that you believe you can hold yourself through every doubt, you can ride through every ebb and flow, you can understand every nuance, and you can actually enjoy the process of unfolding in your being so that you can understand your energy as you're like cultivating and nurturing this manifestation, your desires to come to you. If you guys enjoy this kind of video, I am so happy. Like, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for my subscribers. If you haven't subscribed already, please make sure you hit subscribe and the bell button, and also give me a like if you enjoyed this video. I have like so much more of this kind of content coming out around like all things around the self. So I hope to see you around in the next video.